Hi, yes, my name is Richard Banks and I'm the Deputy Director for an effort called Building the Policy Profession, which is an attempt to professionalise the policy making cadre across the UK civil service and indeed beyond into our partnership with more public servants in the United Kingdom. I happen to be based in the Department for Education and I have a role there too, but it's more broadly my cross-government role I'm interested in the CSaP Policy Fellowship for. What I hope to get out of it most is connections and understanding from people who've done lots of research and have lots of experiences working across different sectors and settings and domains, both public services, private services, internationally, other parts of the globe, to help understand. So my exam questions set in advance were around systems thinking and systems principles and what we can learn from that in terms of how we do our policy making and coordinate and structure ourselves across government to provide the conditions for success in effective policy making. So my experience so far of the policy fellowship meetings it's been really useful. I mean, it's been very pretty. It's autumnal time of year, the leaves are changing colours. Cambridge is a unique experience as a place, so that's been a real experience, but the experiences have been really useful in some areas where work streams are already evolving. For example, I met with Professor John Clarkson yesterday and we talked about work with the Royal Academy of Engineering and systems thinking and developing system thinking capability in policymakers, and other pieces of other exam questions I have, which I didn't set down in advance, with Professor Bill Sutherland, which is around the synthesis of the evidence base and some work he's been doing in a certain field, but actually has a broader application to how do we synthesize and access the evidence that is known internationally to effectively support decision making across government. I do. I mean, you know, a core part of this is the sort of connections and the ability to make other connections on the back of it. So as I say, sort of the John Clarkson example, I could see a very clear line of application to what I'm doing. With the Bill Sutherland one, I went in with exam question A and came out looking at exam question B, and me and Bill have already followed up about how that could well be useful. And the experiences of people who have been in different sectors and settings. So, you know, Cambridge is a place where you're bringing in people who've worked internationally in different sectors and settings. So the likes of Ian, Hoskins and Bill, who have done some more systems thinking work across domains of public sector here. Those have been really useful as well. So those kind of connections and those relationships that I think there's a lot more on yet and I can learn a lot more from. I think the potential for public servants and academic working together are that I consider my academic colleagues and partners to be part of the policy hinterland across the United Kingdom. We're in a privileged position in the United Kingdom to have access to academic institutions, think tanks, voluntary community organisations, and many others who can help inform our policy making, and all of whom are part of that public service and public policy landscape. So our academic partners are partners, to state the obvious, in policy making, and our fellow public servants is how I would consider that. So one of the core things and one of the key advantages of the Cambridge Science and Policy Fellowship programme is how do we make better connections and become greater than the sum of our parts.